Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. We are the Hologrumps. I'm Liam.
And I'm Colum.
And we're here today to talk to you about Star Trek Picard and what our expectations are for the new series. Well, we'll start off by saying, Colum, are you excited for Star Trek Picard?
No.
No.
I've had a bad year when it comes to anything that begins with Star. Star Wars was bad. Star Trek Discovery Season 2 was bad. Actually, it was worse than bad. I'm not looking forward to seeing Picard and all his friends get killed off one by one, or to see Picard be humiliated in some way.
What do you mean, like Picard become a guest character in his own series?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because, he's the most expensive person there, obviously, because he's the main character. But I don't want to see Picard suddenly changing character. I don't want to see Picard
become a Jake Picard, just like Luke Skywalker did in The Last Jedi.
Pretty much. I don't want to see Picard change his ideals.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
Well, judging by the trailers that we've gotten, I think they've taken a big shift in what they had. You look at the first trailer and it's just, oh, tell us, Picard, why did you leave Starfleet? And it's just this look of defeat on his face that we've seen in a lot of the trailers. We've just seen him stare at the camera like this, as if he's ready to just give up. And as horrible as this is to say this, as if he's just ready to die. He's as if Picard's sitting around waiting to die. But then it's kind of taken a shift as the trailers have come along that he's ready to go on one last adventure.
He's really fired up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like he's really fired up for his final adventure. In terms of speculation, what do you think the narrative will be?
Well, the last trailer is showing us a lot of member berries, as people actually call them, of our favourite characters from the Next Generation. Deanna Troi, Riker, obviously Picard, Data. And, of course, this is the play on people's emotions, because they're probably viewing all of the trailers that they've already put out and saying, okay, what does the audience register with the most? Because we've played the first trailer with all these characters, and all that anyone seems to pick up on is, oh, look, it's Jean-Luc Picard. Oh, look, it's Data. Oh, look, there's Riker. Oh, Deanna Troi. So I don't know just how much the new characters in the trailer alone, I'm not saying for the series, are resonating with people, because a lot of people that would be turned on to the new Star Trek would be because of Jean-Luc Picard, as opposed to with Star Trek Discovery, or STD, as it's more fondly known. People aren't that interested in the characters because most of them don't get any screen time. You have, of course, Michael Burnham, that the whole show is centered around. Then we got Captain Pike, who was brilliant. We both give our thumbs up and seal of approval for Captain Pike moving forward if there's ever a new series. So it's characters like these that people have always latched onto that make Star Trek what it is. And Star Trek was always an ensemble show. So they're obviously trying to show more ensemble in the trailer for Captain Picard.
The thing I've begun to notice about the trailers is, obviously he's getting a crew together, he's getting a ship together, he has a place to get to. This young woman who has come into his care,
who is the key to everything.
She's the key to everything, and she's obviously Borg in some way. She's like the first super Borg, probably.
Yeah, like there's speculations out there that it could be the child of Locutus and the Borg Queen.
Ugh.
You never know.
Stranger things have happened, right, Emperor Palpatine? But I digress. The trailers themselves, they definitely are playing on nostalgia. I mean, the amount of speculation that people have put up about Commander Data and all these videos put up about how things have changed. Yeah. Like Liam noticed his hairline had changed.
I think it was the third trailer of Star Trek Picard. His hairline was a bit strange, which is unusual because they did a very good job of actually the CGI in his face. Now, this is the third trailer that we're talking about, where they show a more expanded version of Data. In the second trailer, we got Data at the very end, and he looked kind of like a big blob of Play-Doh or goo. And then they have these little flashbacks or cutscenes in the fourth trailer, and Data looks far closer to what he looked like in Star Trek Nemesis. So I think this is almost more evidence to show that they weren't sure if they were going to bring back these legacy characters until, as well, this is going back months now. They were having problems with distribution rights for merchandise, and the merchandisers didn't want to have anything to do with the new Star Trek look, like the more Discovery look, simply because the toys weren't selling and people weren't interested in Star Trek that didn't resonate with what they knew when they were growing up. So they've obviously tried to bring in more of these next generation characters. So then when they had to bring in Brent Spiner at the last minute for Data, obviously he looks very different to what he looked like 15, 20 years ago, simply because he was meant to be playing an ageless android. And obviously, we can't fault him for aging. That's all part of being human. So they tried to digitally de-age him. And in the first trailer, I thought he looked very strange. What did you think?
He looks particularly like Play-Doh. The issue I have is I know he was under a short schedule, and I realise that things don't always go according to plan. But it would have been nice if he lost a little bit of weight. And now I know that when you
can't say these things, Colin.
I know that when you get older, you put on a bit of weight, but I just thought he could have lost a little bit of weight. Maybe he wasn't given the time. He didn't know he was going to be.
I'd say he probably wasn't given the heads up for any of this, if whether or not he would or not do that. But I'm not sure if it matters too much, as long as they film it cleverly and they use appropriate de-aging technology that's available.
Well, maybe they just won't put him in it that much.
Yeah, well, they probably won't. They're not going to really use the next generation characters all that much.
Considering he's not actually Data, he's B4.
Funnily enough, out of all of the next generation cast members, I think, that have aged the best, it's probably the oldest character, Jean-Luc Picard, that has aged most gracefully out of the people that are returning for Star Trek Picard.
Well, that's because bald people do age better.
Bald people reach max level much quicker than the rest of us.
Yeah.
But also we have Michael Dorn, who looks great for his age, and we have Gates McFadden, these people, and of course LeVar Burton, Geordie LaForge, who have also not showed up in the trailer, which could lead to speculation that the characters are either dead or
they're waiting to bring them back for episode 5 of it, where they come in at the last minute and save the day, and we kept you waiting.
But the timeline gets reset, and then Thanos' snap is unsnapped, and they all come running through and save the day with an entire universe of starships and Lando Calrissian.
Yes.
Colin, what do you think of the idea that these characters could possibly be dead, and that this is one of the reasons why Jean-Luc Picard left Starfleet, because of his shame or remorse of what happened to his friends?
Isn't it heavily implied that he left Starfleet because of what happened during Nemesis?
We assume what happened before Star Trek 2009, the reboot, where the Kelvin line happened, that he left Starfleet after the failed Romulan rescue mission. Do you think it's at all possible that he lost his friends in the explosion on Romulus, or something went wrong in the evacuation and he lost valuable members of the Enterprise E? Because if you think about it, the people that are still alive in the trailer, Commander Riker and Counselor Troy, are two people that weren't on the Enterprise E when we finished up in Star Trek Nemesis. We still had Geordie LaForge, we still had Commander Worf, and we still had Dr. Beverly Crusher. All of these people still stationed on the Enterprise E, and these are all the people that are noticeably missing from the new series.
You don't know that they were stationed on it during the evacuations. I mean, Commander Worf could have gone back to the Klingon Empire. You know from alternate timelines that Crusher got her own command. I am curious to see whether or not Will Wheaton will be in it.
Oh, of course.
Whether they'll put him in it. He is a much loved and hated character.
Much heated debate. Before we had Michael Burnham, we had Wesley Crusher.
Shut up, Wesley.
Yes, the what do people call him? The
Michael Burnham Sue.
Of course, are the Michael Burnham Sue.
Yeah.
But we digress yet again. And another thing that I noticed about the new trailer is the Borg cube that was blue is now green. Whether or not it's a different Borg cube, we don't know.
That's probably just the person doing the editing didn't know it was meant to be green.
I think the person doing the editing for Star Trek would know that.
It's meant to be come green. On.
Okay, I suppose we're talking about CBS Star Trek.
Yeah.
So how many days do we have left before the new Star Trek?
24th, isn't it?
23rd, I think it's airing.
23rd? So we're 24.
24 days left.
Happy New Year.
And 23 or 22 by the time you see our video. And so Happy New Year, everyone. And one more thing, folks. For anyone that had any interest, I'm sitting next to a certain figure here called a Draconequus. So you'll have to look that one up. This character is very important to the Star Trek series, and hopefully he'll be very important to the new Star Trek Picard show. We don't know. But he is here as a certain Easter egg for anyone that wants to figure out who he is. So that's up to you. And one last thing, Colin. Do you think Jean-Luc Picard will make it through all of Season 1 and Season 2 of Star Trek Picard?
Well, I think it would be pretty rubbish if Jean-Luc Picard died in the Picard series.
Hang on, it's not called Star Trek Jean-Luc Picard. How do we know that this new character is in fact not his daughter? In which case, her name could be Absolutely. Picard. And then the legacy lives on. Just like Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker got us, we could still have Star Trek Picard with a new Picard.
No.
Okay, and that's about wraps us up.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed listening to what we said, if you enjoy looking at our faces, give us a like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you can see all of our newest videos as they are uploaded. We're primarily going to be focusing on Star Trek for the next few weeks. So, we're going to leave it there. Take care.